Good morning, beautiful people. Now, I know as a lot of us have been spending a lot of time sitting over the past few months, and back pain is on the rise. I myself have been experiencing a little bit of lower back discomfort recently. So I thought I'd share with you, me and Lulu here, share with you a simple routine that you can do sat at your desk. So just start off, make sure your feet are flat on the floor and think of lengthening up through the crown of the head. So you sit up nice and tall. And the more you stretch up, the more your tummy muscles naturally engage, because we tend to kind of slouch like that, don't we? And that's not good for our spine. So imagine extending your tailbone downwards, the crown of the head upwards, and just relax for a second and just check in, noticing where you're feeling tight, noticing where there's discomfort. So for me, it's right down in my kind of lower back. Noticing if you're holding tension in your shoulders or your neck, but without judgment, without criticism, just simple observation. And as you're doing that, breathe as deeply as you can. Breathe down into your belly. A lot of the time we're not breathing properly. And when we don't breathe properly, we can't think properly. We've got less energy. You might even have a Lulu to join you. So let your belly relax as you breathe. And you can imagine breathing from your tailbone, inhaling from your tailbone all the way up to the crown of your head. And exhaling from the crown of your head down and out through your tailbone. And visualize your spine almost like a string of pearls. You know, when we slouch, our spine is compressed. The taller we sit, we make space between the vertebrae, and we can release tension from the spine. So always, when you're spending time at your desk, I always say set an alarm for like at least once every hour to check in with your posture and do a couple of simple stretches. And so hopefully you won't have a Lulu with you, but who knows. So sitting up nice and tall, just draw your belly button in slightly to help protect your lower back. When we squeeze our tummy muscles, we're less likely to slouch. We're just going to stretch out the shoulders. So just reach one arm up, stretch it up, bend at the elbow. See if you can drop the hand down between your shoulder blades. Now, if you can, grab hold of the other elbow and press it down a little bit further. If you can't, just push from in front. But I want you to focus on relaxing the muscles around the shoulder blade. Relax around your armpit. And see if you can press that down a little bit further. You might need to tuck your chin in slightly as I'm doing. Still drawing your belly button in so your spine's nice and tall. And just taking a couple of nice deep breaths. Balancing on my knee there, Lulu. Just taking a couple of nice deep breaths. Relax the muscles around your shoulder blade. Now one more nice deep in breath. And breathe all the way out. See if you can press that elbow back a bit further. Then gently release, undo the arms. And just take a second. You should already notice a difference between that side and the other side, because we tend to hunch when we're on our computers, don't we? So we're going to do the same on the other side. So reach the other arm up, drop it down. You might notice it's a bit stiffer on this side. We usually got one side stiff than the other. And if you can, grab hold of the elbow, press the hand down further. If not, push them in front. Remember, the idea is to release tension, not add to it. So you can just drop your chin forward slightly. Then try and imagine relaxing all the muscles around your shoulder blade, around your armpit. Just breathing nice and deeply. Still keep that nice tall spine so you're not slouching. Belly button drawn in slightly to help protect your lower back and to remind you to sit up nice and tall. Sometimes just the simplest stretch, doesn't have to be anything funky or fancy. Take another nice deep breath in and out. Okay, release the arms, undo, and just feel that tension releasing from your shoulders. Now here I'm going to have to pop Miss Lulu down. Sorry, Missy. You're going to shuffle to the edge of your chair, so one butt cheek is off. So you want one butt cheek off, so I've got my right butt cheek off, and you're going to take that leg back, Be on the ball of that foot, so you're in a lunge position. And I want you to imagine stretching through that back heel. Draw that right hip forward. Imagine stretching your left thigh forward. Now really pull up the thigh muscles of this back leg and try and lengthen up through the spine. So the tendency is to kind of hunch forward. So imagine lengthening from your tailbone all the way up, almost as if you're sticking your chest out, saying, here I am world. Squeeze this glute slightly. So it's good for stretching out the hip flexors. And if you spend a lot of time sitting, you might be quite tight in this area because your muscles are in a contracted position, this kind of position. So stretching these out is a great counterbalance if you're spending a lot of time at your desk. So squeeze your tushy, stretch through that back heel. So you're trying to straighten this back leg as much as possible. Relax the shoulders. You can hold on to your chair. That's absolutely fine. And try and open through your heart. Great mood booster as well, to open through your heart. Then you're just going to bend that back knee and think of tucking your tailbone under. Notice that tuck. Squeeze the butt. So again, you're stretching the front of the thigh, almost as if you're doing a bent leg lunge. Still keeping the chest lifted. Breathe in, then breathe out. Stretch through that back heel again. So you're going to breathe in, bend that knee, tuck under, squeeze your butt as if you're pushing the hips forward, and breathe out, stretch that heel back behind you. Do that twice more. Inhale, tuck under. So here you want that movement, stretch the front of the thigh, then really stretch, lengthen through that back heel. One more, inhale, bend, push the hips forward. Exhale, stretch that back leg out. Stay here. Hold on to the left side of your chair. Now stretch up. Exhale, stretch over. And inhale, come back, arm out to the side. And exhale, stretch up and across, stretching out the side waist. Keep your lower body strong. So even though you're on a chair, you're still working your muscles. So keep pulling up those thigh muscles and smile. And from here, we're going to add a little twist. You're going to bring this right hand and try and take it to the outside of that left knee, holding onto your chair with your left hand. Think of turning your chest, your ribs, keep squeezing your tush, keep stretching through that back leg. You want to imagine if someone was to whip the chair away, you wouldn't just collapse to the floor. So you've still got energy in your legs. And twists are so good for relieving back pain. If you've got a herniated disc, don't do this twist. Release, come back, bring this back leg forward, flex the foot, and see if you can reach to grab your toe. If you can't reach your toe, don't worry, just hold on wherever you can, just tip forward, stretching out the hamstring. So we stretch out the front of the thigh, stretch out the hip flexors. Now working on the hamstring. That should feel nice on your spine as well, because spending a lot of time sitting tightens our back muscles, tightens our hip flexors, and that leads to that back pain, that discomfort. Remember to breathe nice and deeply. And just come up, roll up through your spine. And bring this right leg, cross it over the left. I'll just turn around to face you. Cross it over the left. Lift the left heel. If you can, you might be able to tuck your toes around and really squeeze those legs together. Lengthen up nice and tall through the crown of the head. Bring your arms out in front of you. Take your left arm on top. Cross at the elbows, bend your elbows. If you can, bring the palms together. If not, just stay here. And now lift the elbows up. Exhale, relax the shoulders. I'll show you from the side. Just check you're not tensing the shoulders here. I want to stretch out the upper back. You want to release tension, not add to it. Check you're not slouching. So nice tall spine. As you breathe in, lift the elbows. As you breathe out, consciously relax the shoulder blades. So you're squeezing the arms, squeezing your legs. Squeeze the legs as tightly as you can. which increases the blood flow to your legs when we release it. And gently undo the legs. You might feel that blood flowing back into your legs. Then we do it all on the other side. So you're going to shuffle over to the other side, so your left butt cheek is hanging off. Stretch that left leg back, so you're in a lunge position. So just flap around, adjust yourself. So you're on the ball of the back foot, stretch through that heel, and try and lift and open your chest. You want to feel almost like you're leaning backwards rather than leaning forwards. The other thing you can do is press your hand into your thigh to lift up. Squeeze your tush. You can activate your leg muscles. So imagine someone's suddenly about to pull the chair away and you wouldn't collapse to the floor. So we're not just like, we're actually doing a little bit of work. You know, don't be fooled by using a chair. The chair is just a prop. You're still going to be doing a little bit of work. You're still going to be energizing your legs. So stretching, again, this is a great stretch. Stretch out the hip flexors, counteract all this sitting, which is really not good for us. Then you're going to inhale, bend that back knee, tuck the tailbone under, do that hip thrust forward, stretch out the front of the thigh. You can hold onto your chair, that's absolutely fine. Breathe in and breathe out, stretch through that heel. Inhale, bend, tuck under, with a stretch on the front of the thigh. Exhale, straighten. Let's do that a couple more times. So bending as if you're going to drop the back knee to the floor. Then stretch and lengthen through that back heel. One more. Inhale, bend. Push the hips forward. Feel it on the front of the thigh. Exhale, straighten. Keep the leg strong. So pull up these thigh muscles. Hold on to your chair. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, stretch over. Make space between your ribs. Inhale, open the arm out. Exhale, stretch up and over. And do that twice more. It's so good to make space between your vertebrae. Feel that stretch in your side body. Keep pushing through that back heel though. And from here, take the hand to the opposite knee. Press your hand against your knee. Turn through your chest. You can hold onto the back of the chair. Again, remember, if you've got a herniated disc, don't do the twist. But you might hear a crack and a crunch when your spine releasing. Keep stretching through that back heel. Relax the shoulders. And release. Come back. Bring this back leg forward. Flex the foot and see if you can reach your toes. Don't worry if you can't. Just hinge forward as far as you can, but just to keep this front foot flexed. So you might be up here somewhere. That's absolutely fine. We're all got to start somewhere. And just gradually come further and further forward as you breathe. I don't want to push and pull, because the more you try and force your body, the more it's going to go, sod you, I'm not doing it. And you're going to create tension. But once you're here, think of lengthening from your lower back. So rather than rounding over and grabbing for your toes, think of lengthening, hinging from your hips. And feel that glorious stretch in your hamstrings. I know, Miss Lulu. Come up. Bring this leg, take it over, shuffle around, try and wrap the toes around, lift the heel of the right foot, the foot was on the floor, and squeeze your legs. Like, I always imagine like a, what's that snake? I can't remember what the snake is that squeezes its food. Squeeze your legs, lift up nice and tall. Bring your arms out, right arm over the top, bend at your elbows. If you can, palms together. If not, here is fine. Squeeze your arms, squeeze your legs. Inhale, lift your elbows. Exhale, relax your shoulders. Again, take a couple of breaths here, keeping that tall spine. So still I mentioned lengthening the crown of the head up towards the sky. Check you're not wearing your shoulders as earrings. Relax those shoulders. Pull your belly button in. Keep squeezing the legs, squeezing the arms. It's a great way to stretch out the upper back, as well as engaging your tummy muscles. And gently release, unwind, undo your legs. Feel the fresh blood rushing into your legs. Because when we spend a lot of time in this position, this bit gets shortened, which pulls on our back, and we end up slouching, and we end up in pain and discomfort, and it's really not nice. Last little stretch. A la Lulu. Again, this is good. Set your alarm, and once every hour, do a stretch. For this one, let's sit towards the front of your chair. Hold on to the back of your chair, and literally just lean forward. Let gravity stretch out your chest. Let your head hang down. Can you see my head? I know, Loopy Loo. I've done a Lulu show. So let gravity stretch out your chest, stretch out your shoulders. Let the head hang down. Yeah, it's good for releasing tension in your shoulders. Opening up the front of the chest, and also the more you relax your head, the more you'll stretch out the muscles and connective tissue along your spine. And you can stay in this one for as long as you like. So it should feel as if you were to let go, you would face plant. You don't want to do that, but that's what it wants to feel like. No muscular effort. And you can stay there for as long as you need. Then bring yourself back up. And again, just always at the end and the beginning, at the end, check in. Just notice how you're feeling now, and you will notice a big difference from when you started. The other thing I would say, if you are spending a lot of time sitting, is try and make sure your hips are slightly higher than your knees. Make sure your knees are never higher than your hips, because otherwise that puts pressure on your lower back. And think of tilting your pelvis forward slightly, as if you're sticking your bum out, so you've got that natural lower arch. Have support if you need to. Set an alarm to go off at least once an hour, and even if you just kind of do a little twist or stretch out the shoulders as we did at the beginning, and each time have a few dots for those little stickers all around the place, and each time you see the dot, each time you look at the dot, use it to remind you to sit up and tighten your tummy muscles. Because when we tighten our tummy muscles, not only does that tone our tummy muscles, it also reminds us to sit up tall, and it's a lot harder to slouch when we're really pulling our tummy muscles. It's not impossible, but it's a lot harder. So I used to have them all around the house, and you can put them all around the house as well, to remind me not to let this shoulder drop, because I got a problem with this shoulder. So have those little sticky dots all around your house, on your computer, etc. And every time you look at them, sit up nice and tall, tummy in, take a little twist, take a time out, and it will help to ease your back pain, because we just are not designed to be spending hours sitting in this position. And let's face it, no matter how conscientious we are, we end up slouching and hunching over our computer and it's no wonder so many of us, me included, are experiencing back pain. So I hope that has helped. If you know anyone else who would benefit from it, share this video, share the love, tag them in it, and I should be doing some more this week. And love to you. And so in 15 minutes you should feel better, ready for your day. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Hey beautiful girls. And I shall see you all very soon. Mwah! I've got to get another 2 classes now.